Hello, my friends. We do have some transfers to talk about. The end of last episode was on July 1st, and then I hop forward to August 13th. We have the UEFA Super Cup today, transfers, and a beef with the media. Let's go. All right, my friends, my beef with the media has nothing to do with what's going on in the world today, although that's a valid point. My beef is that they said we are being accused of stockpiling players because we have so many players out on loan. And I just want to point something out, okay? Of all of these players, how many, well, one, how many are there? Is there 13? There's 13. 1, 2 are players we bought from outside of our academy. That means 11 of the 13 came through our academy system, which is the point. What you just want me to let them go on freeze and like not be part of our academy? Like, well, we do that, don't we? We do that. We let a ton of players go pretty much every season. And this time we went, well, can we use them? Maybe. Are they worth investing in? Can we get a little bit of income coming in from them? Let's give it a shot. So we've loaned out 2 more players to Catania, who we helped with 2 or 3 loanees last season. Get promoted to Serie B. So we got a good it's one of those, we're not affiliates, but like we got a good relationship with them. So off you go. So Noah Bonnet, I don't know. I like Bonnet. I think it's awesome. Has gone out. It's a contract. It doesn't have many stipulations, like in terms of like what position and all that jazz. They're paying us full wages and giving us 10 grand. So when you do a loan, it's about 10 months, right? It says it. See, that's the thing I don't understand. Because it shows when you go to his history, it shows it's 100 grand. But if I do the math here, it's more than that. That's like 11 months and a little bit, almost a full 12 months. But whatever, 10 grand a month. We'll just go with the 10 months. Let's just go off of what this says. So we paid 2.7 million. We're getting 100 grand. Could we have gotten more? Yes, but this is a club, like, he's playing at a Serie B level, and so you kind of have to watch who's interested. We promised him that he would be loaned out. They came in. We got a good relationship with them. Like, that's something that I like, right? Like, we've definitely had clubs, and I guess I should have checked this. Did they keep their manager? Yes. So we have a good relationship with this guy. We've had clubs where we've loaned players out and they like haven't agreed to, like they haven't used them as they've agreed to. Alessio Benedetti and I, we're tight, man. We're tight. We get it. Does he like me? No relationship with me. I helped you get promoted. Burn them. But you know, they offered 10 grand and it was like, boom, like let's settle it. He goes, he's going to get playing time because they just got promoted, you know, off you go. And then Joel, well, we have found a potential, now it's a potential replacement at right wing. And clubs kept coming in for him. And Pisa, who he had, well, let me go back here, had already loaned out for 50 grand a couple seasons ago, came back, and now they're going to pay 400 grand. They're paying 40 grand a month. 40 grand. Now that is more like 11 months, right? So it should be 440 grand, but maybe the accounting is different and I don't understand Italian accounting or Football Manager accounting. That is definitely a possibility, but they're paying his full wages and giving us 40 grand. If you're doing the math, we're to 50 grand a month with 2 players. That's 500 grand. Like, that is like a third of a week's wages. But anyway, he's gone out on loan. But again, aside from that, the other 11 players are all from our academy, and that's what is like, I'm kind of insulted. So Montana goes to Cremonese. This is the other thing, and I want your thoughts on this, but I think it's a flaw in Football Manager, because I have 2 players here, Bernardini and Guarini, who are unhappy because I turned down the initial loan offers for them because it, like, whatever, it wasn't the right clubs, or it wasn't enough money or enough playing time or whatever. We still got them loaned out, right? Like, he went on loan 3 days later from whenever I turned it down. Like, it wasn't like a long time. But it's saying that they are unhappy because the promise made to convince him to renew his contract has been broken. Because the promise was, sign the contract, I promise we'll loan you out. We loaned you out. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's something I'm not understanding here, but it's like, again, it wasn't like we loaned him out, at the next transfer window. It was literally like a day or 2 or 3 later. So why that shouldn't result in the player being unhappy. I would imagine if that happened in real life, if I said, hey, Guarini, hey man, come into my office. Hey, sit down. Hey, we're going to offer you a contract and we're going to loan you out so you can get some better experience. And then a not good enough loan offer came in. I'd be like, hey, we're still going to loan you out. We're going to see if there's better options for you in the club. Get you better playing time, pay for your wages, like whatever it is. I'd expect the player to be like, I mean, it's not like you're not loaning me out. It's just you're shopping me around. I'm good with that. So why in Football Manager is it like you turned down the first, 3 clubs that all came in on the exact same day with all the exact same offer, which is also absurd. And I'm mad. It's like, I got a beef. I got a beef with Football Manager about that. I look forward to your comments explaining why I'm wrong. So we've loaned out Marco Viviani, which is not the other Viviani. It's confusing, isn't it? He's also a midfielder. Decent prospect. All of them going to pretty much Serie C teams. I think we had, obviously, Serie A is Pisa, and then, is it Ascoli? Yep, Ascoli is in Serie B, San Basao. We loaned out our center backs. There's reasons. And I do think, like, it was more important for him to get continued game. Like, he's still at a Serie B level. I think he's going to be good, right? Like, he just needs another season, like last season, with 39 starts. And that was in Serie C, and now he's moved up. His capabilities have moved up, and he's a better player. And now he's at Serie B level, and they're paying 160 grand. Another 16 grand a month. So, like, the money that we're making on the loans is essentially paying for all of these players' wages, like, since they've been with the club, right? Like, it adds up. I haven't done the exact math, but that's the idea. It took a little bit of work. I was kind of surprised to get Rashid Bakali out on loan. We did give him a contract of $4.5K in October of last year. We had to let him go on 0 because literally nobody wanted him. And I'm a little shocked because it says he's currently operating at Serie C. Could be a Serie B talent. He had 17 assists last season with Triestina, with 10 goals, with 6 players in the match, and that was after a loan with the same club, with 11 goals and 12 assists and 6 players in the match. So I was a little surprised that nobody was like, I'll give you $250 a week for him. Like, we're just like, nah. And it was kind of annoying, like, how much work it took to get him loaned. I know I'm spending a lot of time on the loan players, but it's just like, this is what's going on. And so I'm excited about some of these. And it's like, wow, you loan, like, Marius, right? Marius, 40 grand a month. How you doing, Marius? How you doing? So, like, we got some cash. It's essentially about 100 grand a month that we're bringing in with loan players. That's a lot of money, right? And when you think about 11 of the 13 are academy products, right? We paid how much for this guy? 2.7 million. So 100 grand a month is essentially $1 million if it's 10 months. Like, we've almost paid, like, not almost, we paid almost a little bit more than a third, 36% or whatever of his transfer fee. I think this is good business, and this is not something I have normally done. Like, as I let him go to free, and like this time I was like, no, like, we got some good players. I think the difference is we finally have some players that are good enough to play in Serie B, not just be like Serie C, like, well, they don't have any money, let them go all on free. So we do have some clubs like with that Catania that we helped get there that are now like, hey, we got some money because we're in Serie B, we want to stay up. let's spend some money, right? And so we've been able to capitalize on that. Same thing with Ascoli and Samba, because the last season is not. I'm repeating myself. We have played a bunch of friendlies. We did a tour in China to try and boost, like I think I talked about last episode, our apparel and merchandise sales and building a reputation in China. And then maybe next season we go back to the United States as a summer. It's a training camp / tour, right? Then we did the Summer Money League, my friends, and we invited Genoa, Atletico Madrid, and Antwerp. I have the numbers here for you. Just one second. Our bank balance when we started was at 4,028,708 euros. And after running that tournament, it was 6,137,739 euros, which, if you're doing the math on a paper napkin, is 2,109,031 euros in profit, because you get gate receipts, right, for all the games. Because when we played Genoa, right, Atletico Madrid and Antwerp played each other. You think that'd be really hard on the pitch, though, right? It's like, woof, that's like a lot of games, all on the same, right? All in the same stadium. Goodness, that's got to be rough. So we got absolutely wrecked by Atletico Madrid, but I'm not worried about it because we like kind of rotated a little. Like when you play 3 games back to back to back, it's like you start playing players that shouldn't be starting, and they're at like 80% physical condition, and it's a whole thing. We haven't had the draw yet. We'll try and do that today. Let me show you the transfers. All right, I took my earbuds out. I realized I didn't need them. First thing, Atletico Madrid came in for Jordan Chavez, and I thought about selling him. It was like 60 million or something like that, but he was pretty darn good for us last season. 695 and 32 starts in the league, plus over 7.0 in Coppa Italia and the Europa League. And he had 8 international starts, 2 subs on a 716. He's quite good, right? Now you could argue, wow, you gave up Jallo, who's like 25 million plus 7 million. That's 32 million. If you're doubling your money there, but it's like, again, can you find a replacement? So he was upset. And so he was on 79 grand. He wanted a contract. They're like, hey, it could have been a big pay rise. How much money you want? I want 100. That's 21 grand. Sure. So we kept him. Where is he? Ken Loose. Barcelona came in and offered 34.5 million for him, and I was like, no. Now, what's interesting, and I know I'm probably making a mistake with Ken Loose, but it is what it is. I'm afraid he's going to want 100 grand as well. We're kind of running into a little bit of financial crimping. It is harsh because he is one of the better players of the team, and we have some breakthrough prospects making the same amount of money. But he signed the contract, and there's no buyout clause, so deal with it. He's come to me a couple times and said, hey, or the assistant has been like, Ken might want to talk about a contract. And I click on the let's discuss it. And he goes, the fact that you want to talk to me makes me feel better. And so this time I was like, hey, and I think I had Angelini talk to him, and he was like, yeah, he no longer wants a new contract. So we're probably going to have to offer a new contract after this year, but we're getting huge value for the money. 11 grand for a guy worth 19 million, who is one of our better players. Now, what I will also argue, though, is I want my players to earn contracts, okay? He's not had outstanding seasons with us. 6, 7, 8, and 24 starts and 3 subs, okay? 6, 7, 7, and 23 starts and 4 subs. Now, he plays a central midfielder on defend role. He's not playing like a playmaker or anything like that, but still, you're 20 years old. You've been on contract for 2 years now. We gave you a long-term deal. We committed to you early. We even said if you go earn some international caps, which he now has 3, we'll bump up your pay. Am I being ridiculous? Maybe. But it's it helps us save money. Right now, we have 5 million in the bank. 5.8. And that's after earning 2 million with the Money Summer League. We're spending 1.5. We could bump him up on 90 grand, but then we are maxed out on wage budget, and we don't have a lot of transfer budget to wiggle. Now, there's going to be those of you that say it's because you made a knucklehead decision and you haven't sold some players and you bought the goalkeeper. We've been telling you to buy a goalkeeper, but you spent too much. It's well, which one do you want, right? I haven't seen your comments from last episode because I'm rolling right into this one. And then maybe that's fair. But I think to get a wonder kid that is 4-star current ability with 5-star potential ability at 19 years old at 33 grand as a goalkeeper who could be here for a long time unless his value goes up and somebody buys him for 84 million, like I think it was worth it to spend the 22 plus million on him. But it's just for now, it is really cut into our transfer and our bank balance, right? Like that's a natural thing. So you already knew about Noah. We already knew about, I think, because I didn't show you, Gabriel Gionjo. Yeah, I think I showed you that because I remember struggling with that name. So he's around at 20 years old. We have had some people come in and want to loan him. And I'm like, no. We want him sticking around. We work on that mentals. And then we've signed from Pro Vercelli in Serie B, which is a bit of a surprise to me. Like they got promoted a while back and they've been up and doing their thing. But we have signed a right winger from them. Now, I don't know what you think about the deal, right? So what was it? We paid 4.2. He's worth exactly 4.2, 8.5K. But he's pretty versatile. He can play left. He's kind of like a Colombani, right? He can play up top or out on the wing. But he also already had this orange dot. And he's left-footed, and we want an inside forward. He doesn't want to, he's a breakthrough prospect. He doesn't want starter minutes. He doesn't want important player minutes. I think we play him behind Lothar. That's why we got rid of Joel. We loaned Joel to make some money because, who knows? So we loaned Joel to make money. We play him behind Lothar. They're both learning the role. Is the ideal? Would I've liked to have found a player? Yes. And I could, let me show you the player I did find. Please hold. That plays right wing. I have loan marked because we were looking at loan players. Rob. Did he move? Did somebody buy him? Yes, 27.5 million. Rob Atkinson was with Chelsea, and they wanted like 30 million, and then it was like 28.5. Like they kept like getting dinged, and we would have loaned him. We would have bought him. They were open to both of those. We could afford the wages, kind of. I mean, it was kind of an expensive loan, but I was willing to do it because he's a natural inside forward. He is right-footed, which is not ideal. But we already had our one non-EU player from the goalkeeper coming in this season. We literally said, if I go to make an offer here, it's like, you can only sign one non-EU player from abroad per season. Currently one. Now, is that because we've not cleared up a spot because we didn't get rid of Maximiliano? And some of you are going to be very upset about that. Yes. But I honestly wasn't sure if we got rid of Maximiliano because I've seen Loki Doki series and like Italy's rules around non-EU. It's like, I even read through it again. I'm like, I think if I got rid of Maximiliano, I could bring in another non-EU player. But I'm not 100% confident, and I love Maximiliano. So, and we didn't have the money. Like, once we bought the goalkeeper, it would be like, what else are you going to do? Same thing, this guy's Turkish. Like, that would have been nice. He's right-footed. So, again, he's natural in the position, but the cost is just crazy. Like some of these costs are just insane. So we had a bunch of different options. I know you guys have said, hey, and ladies have said, hey, I want to see who you're looking at, and it's just I want to show you this, but like there's also like the diminishing returns of showing you every single player we've ever scouted. So we're not going to do that. So this is what the loans look like here from the first team, right? Because these players are too old to be in the under 20s, except for maybe Montana. And we have called up this guy just to have some depth in the meantime because we have Ken Lewis and Giroux out on suspension from the Europa League or continental competition in general. So when you look at it from a star rating standpoint, again, Lothar is now 3 stars, and still needs to improve on that inside forward in 19. But like, I kind of like this, right? Like he's got good potential. He's a good player, but he's not that far ahead. He's 1 star ahead of this guy. No, that's not the right one. It's because our guy doesn't know the role right now. But in terms of our strikers, you get Colombani up top, Lothar, and Bond. Bond is wanted to leave, which is a little concerning. So I'm hoping we can hold on to him. We can get through the transfer window. He'll calm down because they're not offering nearly enough money. It's like 13 million. I'm like, no. And then Lorenzo. So have we solved our I need a right winger that can play inside forward and is left-footed? No. Not solved it whatsoever. But do I feel like we have Maximiliano, Lothar, and the other guy I just showed you whose name I can't remember, Lorenzo. Maximiliano's the old head. We're keeping him around. Appearance leader for the club. Lothar, more talent, gonna start. Lorenzo behind him. Maximiliano coming in every so often. Maximiliano can also cover the attacking midfield role if we play in a 4-2-3-1, something like that. So that's what I've done. I don't know what you feel about that. You probably are like, you idiot. But again, we honestly hadn't even fully scouted Lorenzo when we signed him. He can't, like, there was all of a sudden, like, I think I offered a loan, or I got an inbox thing and it was like, scout and offer trial, see if he'll want to come hang out, because it said like he wanted to get a contract from us, like, you know, in the transfer offer things, you know, wants to see if Reggiana is gonna offer a contract. So I was like, maybe I can offer a trial, and he wants to leave and he'll like push to come do the trial so I get my scouting attributes figured out, right? And they were like, nope. And I was like, okay, they want 4.2. We've got 7 or 8 at the time. Boom, we're dropping 4.2. I thought it was worth the risk, because we only had 7 or 8 million. Now you could argue, I suppose, you could have sold Maximiliano for 9 or 10, and then freed up the wage budget. Maybe. But it still wouldn't have been enough, right? Even let's say we had 8 million. Okay, let's say we got 10 for Maximiliano. Iffy. That's 18. I don't think we could find like an amazing, 4-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, left-footed inside forward right winger for 18 million. Even with like the wage budget freeing up, this is like essentially like 4 million a year. So we've still not solved that problem, which is a problem, but I think we got some good options, like kind of baking in the oven. Like we're gonna see what happens there. I'm rolling the dice a little bit, is what it is. Yeah, that's where we're at. We haven't found another goalkeeper. I kind of like. I'd love to find like, a legend, right? Like I think I showed you. We were looking at Zwolfs. This guy, the one that said no to us, went to Man United, is now on loan at Pisa for 42.5 grand. I thought about loaning him in, but he wanted to be a first choice goalkeeper. That wasn't going to work. I really want to know why this guy hates us. That's the only thing I don't understand. He's a backup right now for Eintracht Frankfurt, and I was going to offer him like cup goalkeeper, right? You be the backup, but a cup goalkeeper. We're going to get you some more games. Last season, you played in 3 league games. You didn't even play in a cup. But he hates us, and I don't know why. I would love to understand that. Just has zero interest in our club. Bergeron went to Liverpool, is the backup, but he's already made a start on a 6.6. I think he's the backup. They offered him a backup contract, but he's the starter because they haven't been able to find another goalkeeper. Like that's like both of their goalkeepers are on backup playing time. So they're still looking for somebody. They got this guy first choice, but he's okay. That's what it is. Okay. 4 to 12 days. Damaged shoulder. That makes sense. But Bergeron getting some appearances in the Premier League. Oh, we don't know how much his wages or his appearance fee is. That's disappointing. Where is Zos? I scouted Zos. I'm not crazy. Zos, right? I was so tempted. But he's 2 stars. It's like John Short's better. I mean, in the long run, right? And Anastasi, who is our under 20 goalkeeper, isn't that much further behind. And like he's gonna want 22 grand, and we're gonna have to spend $1 million to get him. And it was just like, that probably doesn't make sense. If he was like a 19 on determination, I probably would have done it. So we're kind of rolling the dice a little bit from a goalkeeper standpoint, because we got a 19-year-old and a 19-year-old. And if this guy goes down, we are in trouble. But we'll deal with it when we do it. What are your thoughts? Oh, I rambled. Alrighty, so this is how we line up. They are, as you might imagine, evens favorites. It's being played at FC Copenhagen's. Did I say Copen? Kopenhagen's place. Colombani, Serge, Lothar, Angelini, Viviani. This is kind of forced rotation, which I don't mind because we have the start of the season in 4 days. So I don't love, like, why can't they make this a week out? You know, maybe it has something to do with the rest of the calendar and it's like not just about Serie A, but it's just kind of annoying. It's 4 days before our first game. We're going to play our starting back line and goalkeeper. Kluge comes in. Grandi goes to the right because Giroud and Ken Loose are suspended. So Viviani comes in. Grandi slides over. Kluge comes in. So, I mean, would we like to get another trophy? That'd be good for our reputation. Sure. But, like, we're playing Barcelona, who won the Champions League. If we lose, we get $3.5 million. If we win, we get $4.5 million. I'm not all that fussed about it. Is that the right mentality? What do you think? I just, you know, here's the new signings. Enjoy. Yeah, you want to be number 9? How about a 41? We'll give the goalkeeper the 1. That makes sense to me. Like, sure, come on. But hey, man, our starting striker wears a 43. You're the backup right winger, or like potentially the backup to the backup right winger. You're getting a 40, whatever it was, 6 that I just gave you. So I just think that's kind of hilarious. Make sure they go out there and win this final for the supporters. Yeah. Our goalkeeper is excited, whose name, again, I haven't heard your comments on how to say his name. So, Kachapa is what I'm going to go with. I think we'll be fine. He's complaining. Yippity skippity. We're just going to do key highlights with some sound because, again, maybe it's wrong. It's like we're already getting $3.5 million for being here. Like, you know, they got Mateus Delete on the back line. I thought his dribbling would be better, to be honest with you. Regular start. I'm like, this is their regular start. I mean, it's good, really good mentals and some amazing. I just think I guess I just thought that some of their capabilities would be slightly better. We're definitely gonna close this guy down and mark his partners so that they do not get to the ball. I mean, I don't think it really matters. I don't think we're gonna win this game. They won the Champions League, folks. Like, I'm not too. I don't know. Maybe it's lazy. I'm just not too fussed. You know, like I wanted to show it to you because I felt like, well, we're playing Barcelona, and if I didn't show that in the Super Cup, people would be like, "What are you doing?" But I'm just sharing my thoughts. Where I'm like, "That was a good tackle from Kluge." I'm just saying. Colombani takes on 2. Can he get past the back line? I mean, oh mate, I think he could have taken another touch there. They were closing. Whoa! I hit my pop filter. They were closing down the angle there, but take another touch, cut, do something. But we get the corner of the deal and do nothing with it. Fantastic. But yeah, I don't know. I've rambled, I guess. This is a rambly type episode, but just like, we won the Europa League. I'm satisfied from a trophy standpoint. Now, yeah, do we want to win the Champions League someday? Sure. Like, could we make a run? Sure. Oh. It could have been good, and then it wasn't. Now they've played out of the back. They're not match sharp either. Are we slightly more match sharp in general? Like, because we played a bunch more games and friendlies. Doesn't matter. You know, you have these questions as a content creator. Should I show this game? Should we just go straight into the season? I don't know. I do want to see the draw. Like, that's what matters. Besides giving up the goal, we've had more shots on target, more shots, even possession. I'd say we've been good value for the money. But, you know, it is Barcelona. So, you know, you got problems when you face that, right? Grandi away. Serge, what you got, Serge? Serge has had some knocks. I'm a little worried. But we got him through it during all the friendlies and touring and training camp and the league and Lothar. Just, why would you do that? Because I'm right-footed, mate. Makes sense. Oh, I never was nervous. I love that the players that are nervous have better ratings than some of the ones that are composed or motivated. That's what you want to see, isn't it? Show me something else. Whatever that something else looks like. It could be better. It could be worse. I'll take another look at something else. Again, from a... Okay, they have come a little strong there at the end. It had 9 shots with 6 on target. It's not, but we're not getting... You know, currently, we're not getting run out of the park, you know? At least that's what it feels like. Now they've almost doubled our shots. Maybe so plays it back. 2 chasers. Okay, do something. Ooh, dearie me. That was panicked clearance. Or panicked, just get rid. Not really. Oh, it was so good until it wasn't. Oh, he's off. I'm like, why did he put the... I didn't hear a whistle. Like, why did he put the ball down? What is happening? Stop that. Because we have games coming up, Angelini's on a 6.3 and not playing well. Hey, Locke, how you doing? You want to come in? Sure. Lothar's not playing exceptionally well. Let's bring in the guy who doesn't know the position at all. I'm more worried about the start of the season. Get some match sharpness up. Let's not get injuries. Probably take Columbani or Surge off next. We'll see, though. Who is that to? Who was that to? He's trying to chip to get it to Surge that was running on there? If so, I think you aired way too low on that. Like, you had a lot of room behind him. Even if you got a little too much lift on it or too much power, I think there's enough room for Surge to run out of that with the right angle. And they just show some passion. 6.1 for Kluga. A little out of his league, you could argue. Surge is on a 6.3. You know what? Yeah. Call Bonnie over. We'll take Bon and take him up top. I probably should take Grandi off, but we're not gonna. We've not had another shot. They're up to 16. Well. Oh, come on. They're olaying us. Maybe so. Nice interception. Dude. Oh. Nice interception, then he didn't really do anything with it. Okay. Lock. Viviani, the deep line playmaker, gets it to Grandi. Grandi takes on the likes of Barcelona's backline and does absolutely nothing with it. Bravo. Our whole team is back, and he's going to score. No, we kind of tripped him up, and then he just went for it. Guess that was a pretty good result, all things considered. I'm going to demand more just to show, like, let's get in the right mentality, is what I would tell the players. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think anybody expected us to beat Barcelona today. How's your day going? Going all right? You hitting like buttons on all the content creators' content that you like? Are you? Just saying. You get 200 views, you get like 30 likes. It's like, hey, was it too much effort? That sounds very entitled. I'm just trying to fill time. To be honest with you. I missed the bad pass from Lorenzo. It doesn't really matter, does it? Kluga way out of position. Oh, what a through ball. Oh, it was good. Yeah, it's Barcelona. Thanks for coming. At least we get probably a revenue split on the seats. You know, the gate receipts or whatever. Yeah, you won. Congrats. I am going to say it's disappointing. I would have liked us to score, but... Here's $3.5 million. Yeah, Montana, how's he doing? Yay. Oh, that's the guy we love. Do we even have... So do we have a... we do have another goalkeeper, right? Hey, you got... Come on now. Come on now. He comes in at the very... Oh. So it wasn't in penalties. That's... I'm very intrigued, to be honest with you. What happened here? Okay, I was thinking like penalties or something. No, he came in at the very, very end of the game. They gave him 30 seconds and he still faced a shot. And he blocked it 100%. That's 100%. Mara, oh, that's not what you want to be seeing. Where I didn't force play him a certain place, but I like that they're playing him as a ball playing something. So deep line player or ball playing defender, that's fine. minutes. Marius gets a minute. It's not the best result, Shajashai. Group stage draw. It's on the 28th. Oh, dearie me. I have to play a bunch of games. I think we're just going to do the draw next time. We'll do the draw and then maybe Milan. Carlo Ancelotti was the Milan manager. He's retired. And now they have picked up Unai Emery, who has been at the likes of Salzburg. That's a bit of a step back. Right? Arsenal, Paris Saint-Germain, Arsenal, Napoli, Real San Sebastian, the Spain manager, and then Salzburg, and then to Milan. I mean, he's quite good. At least in Football Manager. I'm not sure what your thoughts are on him in real life, but we'll take on Milan and somebody after we do the draw. Next episode, hit the like button. We'll see you then. What do you think about the signings?